So I'm here in West Covina, California, at my parents' house. I have always liked ants. I don't know why. There's all kinds of reasons. There's always lots of reasons why I like lots of stuff. But I was thinking this morning about how I'm like an ant, and I'm wondering if anybody else feels this way too. Um, Ants, when they go out foraging, go out not they go out in sort of random patterns. So lots of these forager ants that are sent to forage for the rest of the ants to collect food for the nest. They're not locked in where they're going to go. So they wander looking for food, and when they find food, they generally turn and make not to use another insect pun, but they make a beeline back for the hive, dropping a kind of pheromone that says, "I found food" along the way. And the other ants that are sort of wandering around will find that, and they'll be slightly more inclined to follow that path, and they leave pheromones along the way too. So it's all about how many more of these ants leave their pheromone along this trail that allow other ants to find it, find the food and bring it back. When you see ant trails, it's because one ant found food and then wandered back to the nest with some of it, and then other ants find that and strengthen the path, and that's how the path gets stronger until the food's gone, and then the path gets weaker and disappears. I feel like sometimes every single day I live on this earth, I exist more like an ant than a seeker of specific knowledge that I'm going to hang on to. I'm awfully relative in my morality and awfully relative in lots of things. And I feel like over the course of time, I'm more this wishy-washy accretion of knowledge that I've gone and gathered every morning. To me, some of the most fun stuff that happens in my personal life and in my work life is when my propensity, like that forager ant, to go wandering into the unknown and then find something and then run back and want to tell someone. And I feel like part of the rush I get is talking to other people. So that ant, like with the pheromone, you get the pheromone, you bring it back, and you meet other people along the trail or back at the hive, and they say, "Oh, that was really good. That was a great piece of sugar. That was a great piece of salt. Or that was a great piece of knowledge. Or that was a great insight." And you get that feedback. And every day I'm seeking not just for my own internal drive, my own internal curiosity, but the payoff is also in other people saying, "Oh, that is really interesting, and I never thought about it that way," or "I'm really glad you asked that question." It's this endless day after day quest for knowledge that doesn't accrete. It's like that sugar. That sugar all gets gathered, but very soon the ants will have gathered that piece of sugar, or the ants will have picked apart all the pieces of that leftover Danish, or the ants will have picked apart that dead bird, and it's all gone. Every day, every week, every month, every year is a quest for more knowledge, and a quest for that high of people telling you you've gathered some piece of information that they didn't think about. It's probably the joy of being a Renaissance person, but I feel less like a Renaissance person, more like just a sort of that little ant. If that ant were motivated by joy and not just by biological drive, although who's to say, maybe that ant is motivated by joy. Maybe the ant gets endorphins by finding the stuff and heading back. I don't know. I'd have to look into more stuff from E.O. Wilson, famous naturalist. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Do you feel like an ant? Are there other people out there who feel less that you're gathering up knowledge to solidify who you are, like a spider sitting and waiting for knowledge to come by, to tear it apart and digest it and incorporate it into themselves, or more about a seeker every morning, every afternoon, and every night, a seeker just wandering out there and seeing what piques your curiosity, and then seeing how you can take that and fit it into the larger nest back home? I don't know. Sometimes uncertainty is troubling, and sometimes uncertainty, especially when it comes matched up with curiosity, feels like the best possible thing in the world.